Hi friends, it's Sarah from rufflesandrayboots.com, and today I'm going to be sharing the Pom Pom series Bigfoot Gnome. If you'd like to make it boop, stick around. As always, please give this video a like so I know you're here, and it helps with that algorithm so very much. This is the guy we're making today, an easy felt hat, some model magic feet, and the cutest pom-pom body. So I had this idea for an entire series of pom-pom gnomes, and I'm going to be using some simple supplies like model magic, a pom-pom that I bought from Amazon, some wire, and if you don't have 14 gauge wire, you can probably use the thicker floral wire stems. So these are pretty small when you first get them, but grab a hold of them, pull them out a little bit, hold that little elastic thing and bang it on the table, and look how floofy he gets. Easy peasy. We're going to start by cutting 4 inches of wire. I am using a 14 gauge just to make sure I have a nice sturdy base for my guy. I'm going to use pliers, and I'm just going to bend down the very bottom, a 1/4 of an inch or so, and that's to help it stay in our feet. Easy? Yes. Next up, we're going to open up these weird feeling clay packages. This is Model Magic from Crayola. It's like a foamy, spongy, squishy clay. It's not clay. I don't know what it is, but it's not clay. It doesn't work like polymer clay or air dry clay. So what I was thinking, as per my drawing, I was going to make 2 little legs. So I set that aside. But here is the bummer. It doesn't blend as well as clay. And it is bouncy though. Look, I made a ball. So anyway, I rolled 2 of these. Each package became its own foot. There are 6 packages in one of those overpacks you get from Amazon or Target. So I'm just going to make a sort of kidney shape by using my thumb and forefinger to bend in the center. You can see here one side will be rounded and one side will be pressed in. Next up, I'm going to make a big mistake, and I'll share it with you. So I put them together, and I'm hacking off the very top in order to create the toes, which seems cool, right? Seems cool. But now it's stuck. It's stuck. It's stuck. And yeah. So I'm just going to spend the next 2.5 minutes fixing my mistake. So here's a fun fact. Don't put it together once you've got it into the forms you want. It's frustrating. All right, but look, the magic of editing, we're all done. So I combine the 2 pieces here. I'm going to roll it out into a log. I'm making sure that nothing touches these, by the way. That's me being paranoid. But I'm going to roll it out into a log and then cut each set of toes. I'm making 4 toes for each foot, and I'm matching them up. That one looks like a mini marshmallow. That was me talking to myself. But look, I'm already messing up because they're all stuck together already, but whatever, I can pull them apart because they haven't formed my little toes yet. So all I'm going to do, as you can imagine, is I am going to roll these into balls as well. But I have to be honest and tell you, I don't trust this stuff because even though it did stick, it's really changing in my hands. Like the texture and the elasticity, it's all changing in this short amount of time. Like this is not sped up, right? So you can see I'm very worried about this stuff. So I cut little pieces of wire and I popped those into the foot and then pressed the toes on. I think that long term is the better idea, and I think long term that's going to make it stay. So I'm going to do that a couple more times here, and just FYI, I did learn that if you put it into the toe first, you pop the wire. So just FYI, you can go ahead and pre-drill your hole there like I'm doing, then pop on the toe and then press the entire thing in. Just lessons learned from a gal who was locked in her craft room because I was obsessed with making pom-pom gnomes. All right, so finish out all of those toes, and then I'll tell you my next scream-worthy discovery. Happened about here. So remember, my plans were to go ahead and make the wire poke right through the bottom of the foot, and then press it up so that it's inside that foot so it sits flat on the table. Then I was going to make a leg, and I'm going to mess this up so badly. I mean, badly. So my best laid plans, I'm cutting off the excess. I'm forming what I think is an ankle and a leg. And you can see that wire just bouncing around in this foamy stuff. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this foot is getting a lot bigger. Compared to the other foot, I try everything. I try my fingers, I try a blending tool, I try this cool little round ball clay thing, and yeah, enough of that. I am just gonna push that wire through and rip off the top. This did not work, so I'm going to alter my plans and I'm going to reshape for the second time this one little foot. Just blend it out, make it all nice and pretty, and then I'm going to just press the wire through the bottom. And then I figured I would let this dry overnight and then come back to it after making my nose to match. That's about a 1-inch nose. All right, so I'm going to leave it here and come back to it. And here it is, next day, new manicure, and have my little puffy pom-pom, and I have little legs that don't have wires attached to them because it shrunk so much. So I'm going to figure out something else. But here's a little tippity-doo-dah. You can either poke through the pom-pom or you can just cut it apart, which is what I recommend. I've done quite a few of these now and will tell you that this is the better option. But if you do want to poke it, you just make a hole in the fabric and then press your wire straight through that. I don't think it's going to provide you a very secure hold. This does. So if you open it up a little, you can see on the inside really yucky stuffing, but you can take out some of that stuffing. It's a little too full for whatever leg support you're using. I'll be showing you many different kinds throughout this series, but for this one I'm going to go ahead and hot glue the wire into that divot of clay that I had formed. And then I'm going, because I don't have anything to cover up this wire, I'm actually going to now make this a really short, squatty Bigfoot gnome. And all I do is just take my pliers and I bend over the top inch or so of this. So I still do need quite a bit to go up into the pom-pom. So just make sure you have about an inch or so at the bottom that is not twisted so that you can basically have that as your support. So I'm going to do this a second time, and yeah, I made that one a bit too small. So I'm just going to untwist it and then twist it back down. Now this is all going to be inside the pom-pom, so you don't have to worry about it poking anybody, but I always like to make sure it's right up against the other one. So we're going to put this along the back edge of our pom-pom, and we're just going to put hot glue on the actual fur fabric backing, not on any of the faux fur. And then I'm going to press that loopy part right into the glue. And then I'm going to do it the second one as well. So because these are wire and they're not going to move, make sure that your feet are pointing wherever you want. If you want them out or if you want them forward, whatever that you want, just make sure you get them. And then the last step on this part with the legs is just to glue down the fabric backing from the other side on top of the fabric backing and sort of sandwiching inside all of that fluff and the wire. So on this one, I left all of the fluff in. On some of my other ones, I take it out. I think that's just how well your design is working. So I can't tell you, you're going to have to take a little fluff. I can't tell you that. But you can see here, everything is secure. And then I'm going to play what color felt hat am I going to do? And it's this one. So I'm using a just very inexpensive piece of craft felt. It's not the stiff kind. It's very pliable. And I'm going to pin it in a few places. Get out a ruler and a piece of chalk. I'm going to start a 1/2 inch from the fold and a 1/2 inch from the base, and I'm going to cut a triangle. That's it. I'm going to hot glue down the wrong sides together. So if you have the pretty side, it would be facing out. So it'll be on the top here. We're just going to glue down the bottom 3 inches, and then we're going to form our hat. I'm going to show you 2 ways. So if you want a really, really thick hat, you would do what I'm going to show you first, which is this chalk line is about 1/2 inch at its widest away from the edge. You are going to leave the very top inch all together. Okay, no matter which style you choose, you're going to leave and glue down that top inch. All right, so we're just going to cut this off. It looks kind of wonky. You would glue all this down on the outside edge. You don't need a lot of hot glue, and you don't need to press it too hard. It's felt, it will adhere. All right, so all the way up. Now, I'm going to show you the way that I wanted to do it, which is what my drawing was, which is a really, really curly hat. And to do that, I'm just going to twist 2 pipe cleaners together. Now, if you wanted to do the really thick hat, you could do it like this, either with or without the pipe cleaner, and just fold it over. But if you want to do the twist like me, I'm going to show you. You're going to cut it to where this part down here is another 1/2 inch in, but the top stays where it is. So like the top inch stays, and then you're going to go and do the exact same shape just a little further in. Okay? And then you're not going to glue it all the way. You're going to start gluing the bottom. Now remember, the top is still glued, so we're going to sandwich our pipe cleaner in between those 2 already glued pieces. All right, so I'm going to put a little glue out here, and you could put the pipe cleaner in first. I honestly don't know why I put the glue on first. No clue. So I just tuck in this pipe cleaner, and I am going to get some of that glue on it, so that's good, because I'm going to get my little hot gluey stick and press it in so that it stays. And then I'm just going to sandwich that in between the felt with a squish. Squish. All right. Now that's going to give me a nice bendable hat. All right, so I'm going to glue down the very bottom as well, just so that pipe cleaner stays in place. Now I have a really cool dimensional like hat. So I just slip it on to get an idea of where to put the nose. I'm going to split the fur to the fabric backing, add a generous portion of hot glue, and glue on that Model Magic nose. Boop. Slip on the Hattie McHattykins. I lined up the, I don't know why I said that. I lined up the back seam with the middle of the toes so that I can pull that down. I can't show you here because I'm holding it in place, but I glue on the top of the, or the front of the hat to the top of the nose, and this is what we get. You can see my hat goes right in between those feet. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments of these cute little feet. As always, thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe for more crafty fun.